and he fought Manny Pacquiao. And the thing about it is, he was dominated by Manny Pacquiao, mainly because Manny Pacquiao got. I mean, it's one thing when you're slightly faster than a dude, you know what I mean? But Manny Pacquiao was like foot speed, hand speed wise. Usually we don't talk about speed, we talk about timing, but he was just way too fast, and he wasn't staying planted at any given time, and he was turning Brandon Rios so much that really the speed of Manny Pacquiao made a big difference in this fight. I mean, Brandon Reese couldn't get the time, and he couldn't get a beat on Pacquiao. It was just way too slow for him. So Brandon Reese couldn't really do much work on him. Then he faced Diego Chavez, just most recently. Got a DQ win over Chavez. I thought Chavez was beating him. Actually, as you can see, two out of the three judges thought so too. And then he went on to face Mike Alvarado, and he was probably in one of the best shapes of his life at welterweight, because this brother's now at welterweight. All right, he moved up 3 weight classes, 3 weight divisions, one interim and world titles in 2. Okay, and right now he fought Mike Alvarado for the WBO International Welterweight title, which means that's what kind of brought his status up, and also puts him in a position now to fight Kell Brook. This brother's getting names now. He's dropping top 10 names only. This brother's starting to fight. So he fought Manny Pacquiao. That was a top 10 welterweight name. He landed Diego Chavez, which was another top 10 welterweight name. And now he's going to land Kell Brook, which is actually the #1 contender for Ring Magazine's welterweight championship under Floyd Mayweather. And Kell Brook, to me, I think a lot of people are realizing this now. I said it a long time ago. Of the 4 future kings in the division, and the 4 kings to me are Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Timothy Bradley, Kell Brook. He is the most complete, all-rounded, classy welterweight out there. And everybody knows this. I mean, I even hear this promoter realizing that other than Floyd Mayweather Jr., this guy is the best welterweight out there. But like I said, I told people, when I looked at him, and I even showed you guys clips and footage of it, I'm going to do it side by side again. I said, this boy reminds me of Sugar Ray Robinson. And people said, sacrilege. I say things, and maybe the way how I say things, it makes people... It makes people go into an uproar. Like when I said Jose Luis Castillo, man, this brother fought better competition than, Roberto Duran. Everybody went up in arms with that. Sacrilege, you know what I mean? And I said, in some respects, he's a better fighter than Duran. And everybody was like, wow, sacrilege. But you see, it's because I watched things, man, and I observed the dude. And Jose Luis Castillo gave boxers hell. You can't move around the ring on Jose Luis. Not only does he cut off the ring, but he uses feints and other things to get to you. Duran was explosive and so on, but throughout his career, he always had a problem with boxers. Always. And I'm talking about good boxers with good punching power to make him respect distance, etc. That's just the way it was. And Castillo had that edge on him. Okay, in a head-to-head, I don't know. I think Duran might beat Castillo because he was much more explosive and stuff, and it would be a clash. And Duran was pretty good on the inside, but I can't really say. Castillo, he got knocked out by Diego Corrales. You know what I mean? So, it's always a possibility. But Castillo also had an iron chin. He had pretty good defense. He had that wide stance, which you don't really see in Mexican fighters. And he had very good boxing pedigree. And this boy sparred Chavez. Julio Cesar Chavez. So, this boy, he learned how to be tough and everything. He had everything going for him. And as a lightweight, Castillo was a force to reckon with. You look at the names he beat. Anyway, my point anyway is that Brandon Rios, has a pretty stellar career. And so he's not a bum. Sometimes, I say some things which I don't. And this guy gave his life to boxing, so you can't call Brandon Rios a bum. And I'm really apologize for that over and over again. He's a solid boxer. Very strong, too. What I would say about Brandon Rios is I like to see him matched up with fighters that can really produce really exciting fights with him. But hey, if you get the Kell Brook fight, you get to fight the best in the world. This is gonna be the second best in the world welterweight that Brandon Rios is gonna face. He faced Manny Pacquiao before. Now he's gonna fight Kell Brook, and that boy tough, Brandon Rios. Of course, I don't know, man. So, iffy about Kell Brook fighting him because Brandon Rios is looking at the fact that he's gonna get on the inside of Kell Brook. Kell Brook's not as fast as Pacquiao, doesn't move as much, so he'll actually get to rumble a little bit with Kell. And I saw him spar Marcos Maidana. He gave Marcos Maidana the work, so I know this boy can give Kell Brook the work. So I'm interested in that matchup, but I'm not really hyped about it because I know Kell Brook got certain skills in his bag that could really he could really make Brandon Rios' career one in which it kind of abruptly comes to the end. Okay, and it's not from Kell Brook beating Frankie Gavin or even Jojo Dan that I'm talking from. I watched what he did to Sean Porter, and Sean Porter is a much more faster, explosive fighter that gets on the inside off the jab. And I mean, he put a whooping on Sean Porter, almost knocked him out in I think was the 8th round. So Kell Brook, he ain't no joke. He ain't no chump. I'm kind of concerned for Brandon Rios being a tough guy and everything. I know he has decent offense. And I know he'll be able to get on the inside of Kell Brook a couple of times. But Kell Brook is pretty good on the inside himself, and he's very strong. I don't know if Brandon Rios is as strong as Kell Brook. That's the problem. So anyway, that's all I got to say. I'm glad for Brandon Rios if he gets that fight against Kell Brook. He's probably going to do it in the UK. He fought already away from home. He fought in Macau, China. So, fighting in the UK. And what I like about Brandon Rios is he's taking them big fights. He's not afraid to fight anybody and everybody. And that's pretty unique for this brother. I'm glad he's getting that shot. I think his record says a lot more than people want to give him credit for. I think his style of fighting, the guys who I would have preferred to match him up with, the guys like Andre Berto, guys like Victor Ortiz, guys like Lucas Matisse, Provodnikov. I know it's going to be an exciting fight. I know those fights, nobody going to back down. You know what I mean? That's the kind of fights I would have loved to see him match up with. But, after the Kell Brook fight, if he's in one piece, if everything's okay, I'd like to see him fight those other guys. You know what I mean? If they don't stop that fight, the Kell Brook fight, off of cuts or because the brother get dropped, because even little Manny Pacquiao, I think at a certain point in time, I think he dropped Brandon Rios, but they called it a slip. So, Brandon Rios need to be in really, really, really tip-top shape to fight Kell Brook. He needs to be in tremendous shape. Now, I know he can handle power because he was sparring Marcos Maidana. Marcos Maidana and Keith Thurman, they hit like, I think they're the hardest hitting welterweights in the division. Kell Brook is very accurate on the other hand, like Triple G is. And so it's not just his power, it's also what he's doing to you. He's going to break you down, and then he's going to take you out of there. So I'm kind of worried about the kind of damage that Kell Brook can do to Brandon Rios that he probably never experienced before in his life, because Kell Brook's very systematic how he chops you down, and he will chop you down. So I'm worried about it. But Brandon Rios is not. So once he's in the best condition of his life, I think he'll be able to make it through that and then get some of those fun fights that we really want to see. So that's my take on Brandon Rios. Kudos to him and success in his career. I wish him nothing but the best. He's a great fighter in terms of his accomplishments and what he's done, given the skills and style that he uses, and look forward to greater things for him. And I'm glad that he's not underachieving, but instead he's striving to be better and better and get better opposition. And we need to really, as fans, cheer him on for that. And, be happy that he's getting those big paydays and also fighting the best competition out there. Imagine this dude is fighting Kell Brook before Floyd Mayweather fights Kell Brook. Think about that, man, folks. He fought Manny Pacquiao before Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao. And made it through the fight, too. So, got to give Brandon Rios his props, man. Especially for who he's fought. So that's all I got to say for now on Brandon Rios. This is just my video to give him the highest praise. The dude has done big things in boxing with the skill set that he has. You guys have a great one.